Hey, hi, hello. The name is FoxxArie, and today I'm going to talk about the creation of this video. It's not called I Thought It Would Be, even though that's the title up here. That's a little personal reference for something I don't even remember. I don't remember why it's called that, but no, this video was called Talking to My AI Self. It is, as of this recording, the newest main channel video, and I poured almost 2 months of work into this video in terms of editing. It's not like 2 months consecutively, like I worked every day for 2 months, but it's more like since I started editing, it was nearly 2 months from that point. This video is going to be unscripted, unedited, just a raw conversation. So sorry if you hear me make weird noises with my mouth or stutter a lot. I'm a very awkward talker, which also is why editing takes a long time because, as you can see, there's a lot of cuts here, and that's because I have a hard time talking fluidly sometimes. And a lot of people find that charming. I find that charming. But when you're trying to make a snappy, coherent YouTube video, it's not the most fun thing in the world. So there's that. Uh, so before I get into the actual edits, it's zero. Sorry, the actual edits themselves. Um, I want to talk about the raw recording of this. So the raw recording was a little over 20 minutes, if I'm remembering correctly, and it is basically everything you see in the video, except just without with most of the stuttering cut out and just all the things back to back. I mean, it's not easy to tell from here, but like this is part of the raw recording, I believe. Like this is definitely part of the raw recording. Oh, this is something else. Um, and it's chopped up like this because this is a very non-linear video process. I forgot about this. Oh my gosh. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, this really goes to show the inner workings, the madness I've went through in my mind while making this, because there's a lot of different editing effects and etc. that I went through making this, and this is just a cuckoo crazy. So basically how I started is I recorded the video on December 6th of 2024. Then the day after, I decided to start editing it. The initial plan was I was only going to spend about a week, more or less, and just quickly make a video and just probably throw it out onto the archive channel or whatever the case may be. But no, I ended up really wanting to put a lot more effort into it, because eventually 1 week of work turned into two. And then I was like, well, I spent so much time, I might as well go all the way. And so I went all the way. So first I just edited it down so it's just a core audio and video parts with no other editing. And then over time, while adding all this crazy stuff onto the video, I did eventually cut out other parts of the video slash audio when it comes to the raw recording that I already chopped down to be a brisk 9 minutes and a little bit more than that, as it originally was after the first run through of edits and etc. And obviously I'm not missing anything crucial. It's just like a little things or me just rambling on about what I thought at the time would be haha funny. It was not funny. It was not entertaining. It was just kind of a snooze fest. So I just threw it out there, throw it to the wayside, into the dumpster fire. Bye bye, Walmart babies. um, Besides that, let's talk about this background animation, right? I mean, oh, it doesn't show up there. I don't have the raw file on hand. Oh, actually, I do have the raw file on hand. It's right here. Whatever. You get the idea. This is like 3 frames of animation that I just drew, because other than that, the background for most of the video is just going to be black with like text on top, right? So this might be super laggy. Hello? Oh wait, I didn't paste it. I copied it. I copied the same thing. Why would I do that? Hold on. There we go. Not here. There's a better look. Oh yeah. So this took me a few days to do because I am not good at graphic design, to be honest. But I just thought it would be interesting. I thought it'd be fun to have a little stylized background inspired by Atlas games and Omori and just other stylish type of stuff. You know, a little bit of Spider-Verse kind of funk in terms of like, you know, messy stylism. And I just really like it. I'm going to make this publicly available, isolated in the near future. If I haven't already, by the time I publish this, as well as other assets I made for this video. But we'll get to that when we get to that. So let's get this out of here because I don't need this here anymore. Go all the way back to the beginning. Make my computer cry and suffer and squeal like a little piggy. A little piggy. Yeah, hello. The first thing I want to talk about here, in terms of the actual final edits, if this wants to actually move the cursor, hello, is this after image. I don't know how many people noticed this, but I decided that I would like to do after image effects that are red highlights over text and some of the text in this video. Some of them that are more stationary are very apparent because I made them apparent, but these are more of like, you know, like you could feel it, you can see it, but you don't think about it too much. And basically how I did this is I just copied and pasted the same trajectory, the same animation for these texts, because you see it's these pinpoints you can choose. And I just made them happen again. You know, I made the entire color. Whoops! I made the entire color red, and I basically pulled it back a little bit. Here, I'll show a better example. I made it so it's the same thing. I copy and pasted it. Then I moved it a little bit more to the right with this specific one. I moved it a little bit more to the opposing direction it was supposed to go as a starting point, and then I made it reconverge when it stops, and then vice versa when it starts to go. In this particular instance, I just made it stay like very close, and then made it melt into one. What? How did I do that? Oh, I'm changing the value. I don't want to do that. I don't want to mess with the original files. And I just thought it would be a little fun idea, just a personal thing I wanted to learn, and I decided just to throw it in there sometime during the project. And then there's this. This is just a simple, like take the time nodes here. I'll put it here, and I started with nothing, make it expand, you know, very quick, and then melt into place, type of thing. And then same over here after image effects, way more subtle. And there's that. That's how I made that happen. You know, I think that's fairly easy to understand. If you don't know anything about video editing, I'm probably just spouting gibberish right now, but you gotta understand, all right? It's not that hard. It's just time consuming. At least with this kind of stuff. Like, this is a very time consuming art form. And I really do think that this is art, to be honest. To BH. This is just like live footage at the time. Well, no, it's not even live. What am I talking about? This is just footage of this. I could have just made it a screenshot, but I mean, I was just talking when I was recording this, and this is zoomed in, of course. So there's that. And then there's this pickle video. So where did I find this pickle video, right? I don't know. I think I just put dancing pickle in Google, and this was like one of the first results, and I was like, I don't like this, but I kind of do like it. Like, come on. How can you say no to a face like that? That's beautiful. That's majestic. Anyway, there's me shouting at my friend. I thought it'd be fun to make this a bit of a celebration for my community members, especially the long-standing ones like Gato and Drew that got direct shout-out references. And this is, you know, this was the one that inspired me anyway. So I thought I, you know, had to dig through. Sorry, let me start the sentence over again. I dig through Gato's media tab to find this because this was the one, this is the, like, this post that made me interested in the first place. I was like, whoa, that's very interesting. I want to make that a video. So there's that. Always let your inspirations take you to places that you want to go. Never be embarrassed by being inspired or being iterative by the things that you like. That is only, you know, like a good thing. I mean, if it's plagiarism, don't do that, but be iterative, be iterative. Another thing I'll note real quick is the Mother soundtracks. A big joke of the video is that the AI directly referenced Mother 3, and I made a bit of a big deal about that with with editing, as you'll see later on. I just thought it'll be a fun little gimmick thing to have all the background music be Mother music. I wasn't initially planning on it, but after editing and coming through the video a few times, I was like, I need to do that. Like that kind of solidified the idea of all of it being Mother music, except the Family Guy segment, which it's still Mother 3 styled, but it's still the same idea, but Family Guyified. So here's a little funny thing with this. How so you see, I simply, well, can you zoom in? Whoa, okay, there we go. Oh, yeah, that's a yummy lag. So how I did this effect where like it pops in like that, if you don't know, I simply just wrote out this text, stretched the text box out for however long I wanted to exist, and then I chopped it up into pieces. Actually, and then yeah, I did chop it up into pieces, and then where is it? Where's the option? Actually, no, it's in settings. It's in settings for this one. I mean, by the way, I used DaVinci Resolve, if you didn't know, as an editing program. I just used a crop tool. I cropped it so like it only shows one chunk. I would usually just use like the same colored background if it's just like a solid color, which I initially did because the background was a fairly late stage addition, I would say. But despite that, I had to like re-edit this text block, which I know seems like a nothing burger. It's literally like less than 3 seconds, but like less than 2 seconds even. Look at that, basically. But like, it's the little details like that that matter to me. I like paying attention to little details, and sometimes I leave errors in my videos on purpose, just because I think they're charming and fun and cute. And other times I don't, and I'll be honest, other times I have editing error and it's really strange. It's like, why did I do that? But there you go. It happens. What is this? Is this a Deltarune sound effect? I don't even remember this. What is this? By the way, I don't know if you can hear that. Can you hear this? Apparently not. Well, whatever. Well, apparently this is a cut sound effect for this thing coming in. Wow. I don't know why I did that, but Deltarune moment, I guess. So this is just zooming out, and then this is an image of this fox stretched out. My name is FoxxArie on the internet. I like foxes. I think foxes are cute, fun, stupid, silly, but and I like to generally be that kind of person. So there we go. It's just funny fox image. Then I wrote creature of all. I'm a big fan of split-second Easter egg things like this, especially because on PC you could just pause the video and press comma or period to sift through frame by frame on a video. So these type of things are very fun to discover and leave for people that watch on PC. If you don't watch on PC and you do notice that this happens for a frame and then it changes to something else, I'm sorry. That sucks. That sucks for you real bad. But it's always something I appreciate, especially with YouTube poop type of humor ever since I was little, and I'm glad I was able to add that kind of fun, creative spin on my own video. I mean, I've done it with other video projects, I think, but this one in particular, I figured I should put a lot of that just so people can keep paying attention and see what other quick little snappy things I want to add, for forward. I got thirsty. Been talking too long, man. Okay, so here, I want to show this. So I love how this question mark here, the colors bleed into each other, right? That's awesome. I usually have a problem when people do a fade-in effect and it looks like really stupid and just like really like bad. It's a personal pet peeve that does not matter. I mean, I guess I could. I'll show you an example right now. Okay, so let's have both of these fade in, right? Both the background and the foreground. You see, like here, I'll make it longer actually. No, so I'm going to mute this for myself. Do you see how actually, you can't really see because they're both really dark, but it just looks ugly when they both do that. If you want a good tip on how to not have both things fade in at the same time and kind of make it look ugly, just go to your whatever editor you have, get a solid color or whatever the equivalent may be if you have it, and then just make it fade in through the solid black color. For like that kind of fade in. Obviously that doesn't work if it's like from one video footage to another. Put that video footage over on top on a layer on top, and then make it start to fade out. Whoa, I'm starting to mess with things up a lot. Let's get that out of here. I don't know what else I did. Hold on. We good? Was there nothing here? I guess not. I guess there was just a random gap there. Why is that like that? Anyway, but yeah, that's a personal pet peeve of mine. But I think it's kind of funny and amateurish when people do that. You go back to your place. But either way, actually, what if I? Good? Is everything back to normal? Okay, sorry. I want to keep all these project files the way they were for future purposes, if and when I want to do that. Anyway, back to this. I really like how this looks blending into each other, the question mark. It reminds me of old school 3D effects that you might see in a theater, of how the colors blend and you need the two different color glasses and then the 3D effect will work. It has a nice feeling, and this is just stylistically pleasing to me, and having this happen all at once was really nice. Initially it was just going to be white question marks, but then I just wanted to add more style and spunk, so then I added the red highlights and I was very satisfied. And they all go away. And then this is just a zoom in, right? And so here's a neat thing I did. I took this, keep it zooming in, and then I added, this to like behind it. I don't know what I did. I thought I was supposed to move this up a little higher because you could see that the bottom of this element is poking out, but I never did. And it's just there, and that was a complete error, and I didn't catch that until after the video was rendered, and I was like, I don't want to re-render this just for this one stupid error, so I'll just leave it there. It's not a big deal. Melody, Amaranth, and Joshua jump scare, by the way. And this is a simple click the nodes and expand and then unexpand, fade the screen. There's another split-second joke in here, and then that fades in, and that's fun. That's a good time. Very silly. Very good. And then this picture of a fox I also found while looking for pictures of foxes from this over here, the earlier part. I just thought it would be awesome because look at this. This is awesome. Anyway, moving forward, how I did this, like me typing out, I just took here, you know what, I'll give you a hands-on example. So give me 1 second to find the original video in its entirety. Here, give me 1 second. Actually, I'm going to pause the recording for 1 second to find it. Hold on. Okay, so I found it, and how I did the parts where it's me typing things out and my voiceover, it wasn't voice production voiceover. There is no initial recording voiceover in this video. What I simply did is, by the way, here's like raw footage of it. I would type out what I wanted to say more often than not, and then I would like take out the parts that I wanted, and then I would crop it so it's only that part. Here, let me show you like this real quick. And then what I would do is I would, make it zoomed in, and then, make it, fit in a different way, or, just have it around. And then I'll also speed it up so it also fits with, the quote-unquote voiceover, like the audio part of it. Obviously, this is not exactly how it is. There's like way more fine-tuning than this, but that is the very basic idea of how that works. And I did that for every single one that I typed, every response I typed out besides the one with the text bubble. I just thought it would look ugly, which is, by the way, this one. Wow, look, lucky catch. I just figured this would be easier because it kept going and going and it just didn't fit in one part. And I just figured this is way better just to do it like this. With this one, it's more easy because it's just a static image. Well, easier debatably. I'll show you more in depth of what I do in just a second. Let me go and find my place again. Give me one moment. Alright, so what I did for this, for example, hold on, if it could load. Yeah, I put so much stuff in here, my computer hates it. So what I did is that I took a screenshot of an empty space of this gray part, and then I just made it like cover all of this, and then I just used a cropping tool again to make it, you know, like in chunks. There was a time where it was less like bouncy like this, and it was just like boom boom. Well, the baby. I forgot about the baby. And rather, okay, let me explain with better words. It was like, here is just the chunks of text, like the beginning and then the period, and then it's just that. But it was so boring to look at. And even if it's just simple as like text appearing, just like that, flatly, it was way better to like chop it up in chunks. I still think overall I could have done a better job about it, but for most of the video, I basically had to re-edit all these cuts and all the things to make it, well, to make it work. And then it did work out eventually. Like, now it is much more spunky, and it goes aligned with what I was saying. And I'm very proud of that. And I really appreciate that. Every cut that I do, unless it's a mistake because I pressed the B button on my keyboard, it has a purpose. Whether it's like this, and, well, you know, I'm cutting it up into chunks and so on and so forth. Or maybe it's to measure a different part of the video that you, the viewer, won't even know because you don't have a personal in-depth look at these kind of things. Or whatever the case may be, every single cut that I make, most of them at least, have a purpose. And, I mean, look at this. Like, this is... There's a lot of cuts on here with this audio, and yeah, you know, I put a little echo effect and more human. Then this beautiful thing. I had this randomly pop up in my mind while listening to myself for the first time going through this recording. And this was one of those edits where I knew I had to make it immediately. You know, I have those kind of ideas a lot when I listen back through a recording of myself when I want to edit it. Or even just casually. Maybe I'm just listening to random clips of myself for whatever reason. Maybe someone sent me a clip of myself from a stream I was doing. Or maybe I was hanging out with a friend and they were recording our hangout, you know, with permission, hopefully. And then they were showing me a funny moment and I was like, I want to quickly edit that, you know, edit this funny thing. A lot of my edits are like my humor itself. It is spontaneous and off the cuff and off the top of my head. Improv. It's very improv. And even though this is a meticulously edited joke here with different parts going in slightly different speeds, you know, for interest and also for flair and personality and all that good stuff, I still consider it improv comedy because it just popped off the top of my head and I just plunked it on there. Of course, it is a little harder than improv because I actually have to make sure it works and it looks right and everything. But my style of humor is almost always improv. And even with my editing, it's still that way. And I think that's very interesting. It's a very interesting way to edit things. That's not to say that obviously I can't plan like a super big like joke idea like the general aesthetic of this video's background music being Mother 3 or Mother 3 like inspired, but that's kind of my general prowess, my general way of thinking for these type of videos. So this is a zoom in. Oh, what is going on here? Oh yeah, I moved this up top and I made it go down with like audio following it. And at this point in time when I record this footage, when I was editing this at here, I actually like this was the same day the this like Discord footage that I started to like heavily edit the video after combing through and cutting it down to its bare essentials more or less. And I just thought it would be cool to shout out Drew because even though they're a bit of a stinker, they've been around my community for so long, and I just figured I might as well since I already shouted out Gato, and that they're also a big part of the community as well. And this is an actual like message in my Discord server in general that I posted. And I feel like that's a nice little Easter egg that people can look back on if you look up for this message, and you'll find it. Also this dinky, really dinky profile picture by Cutie Monica I was using at the time. Really good. That permanently etched into the video forever. That's good. I have a thing for super stupid profile pictures. Also, someone's calling my phone, so I'm gonna pause and I'll be right back. Alright, after a good while, I'm back. Whoops. I kind of disappeared for a while. I mean, you could probably tell by the time down here. I don't remember how long I've been away. But long enough for the edited text over here to be read. Let's get that out of the way. Which, if you don't know, that means, oh, you haven't saved in a while. You're all gonna die. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, I was talking about how this is an actual Discord message, and that's cool, and history and whatever. Link to the past, death, like sound effect noise. I was trying to find sound effects in like the late stage, like the final couple of days of editing this. I always knew that was going to be the final part, like the final editing, and make sure all the audio was leveled and everything. Because I also have a pet peeve of audio being relatively leveled fairly enough in media, especially when it comes to content creation. It's not the biggest thing in the world, but it does bother me, especially because I listen to most media with headphones on. When something suddenly becomes really loud out of nowhere, and then like also just gets really quiet out of nowhere, it just bothers me. So I try to prevent that kind of stuff from happening. Along with trying to find sound effects, this is from Deltarune, this is from like Between Worlds. There's a few that I've made. I just popped on Audacity, which is this icon over here, this like recording software, and I just recorded some necessary, well, not necessary, but some fun little side effects to go along with just whatever's going on screen, just for extra flavor. And it's more quieter than everything else more often than not, but it's kind of like if you have headphones on and you're, listening and paying attention and enjoying everything, then the extra layer of audio depth and, really adds to the experience. It really adds more for you to listen to. Family Guy, Mother 3. As you can see, I like to add silly names to things I add. Like this is called Beanfaller. Certified silly. I mean, that's pretty obvious. This is all just names. Sorry, someone's calling my phone again. Oh my god. You know what? I'm not expecting anything urgent, so I'm just gonna put my phone on Do Not Disturb for the rest of this recording. Anyway, yeah, I just adding silly names. Hi, Glass. Just as nice as great. Just Goro Catchy. Just Happy Baby. Yeah, there's this image. Lonky Monkey. I don't know why. But yeah, this is the real guts of the project here. Truly, there's a Yo Mama. Let's see what else is there. I feel like there's other interesting stuff to note. Oh yeah, there's also some things that I drew specifically for this video, like Certified Silly right here. I drew this. With a transparent background, so I can just export it. That's pretty good. I like that. This is like the first thing I drew for the project, so that was a nice little thing to get my wrists ready. I didn't draw anything too crazy. Again, these backgrounds are, it's not the most complex thing in the world. I think anyone can do them. It's just, having the time and patience to make something that looks nice, but also has a little bit going on. There's quite a bit there. Again, it really, like, all the stuff I do, I feel like is not something that you need to be any sort of professional for. It's more like you have to be willing to do the time and energy. And I guess you could say that about anything in life, honestly, but I just don't feel like I'm a master at anything. I just put a lot of time and energy into the things I care about, and that's ultimately how they end up being good. This is me saying for true. That's the Peters coming around. And then Stewie Griffin clip gets real close to you. This is another one of those moments where I just automatically knew I had to do this, both with the Peters and the music, and also the Stewie Griffin. Like it just all fell into place. So it was just a matter of me actually putting it together, and I'm glad I did. I mean, I could say that about literally any editing project because I have a bad habit of just starting things and never finishing them, as I'm sure most people do. This is just more of the same. Here's footage of Mother 3. Everybody who's familiar with the game knows how unfair this fight is. I mean, I've struggled more with other fights in the game, but this definitely sucked as well. And overall, not the best balancing. Ultra Kill. I thought it'd be fun to add a, like, what's this, like a wall sliding sound effect, and then just have V1 slide down like that. It's just something simple, just so something happens on screen, and then you have the audio. It really isn't like that big of a deal. Like, it took me like 5 minutes at most to like download the PNG and the music and slap it on there after sorting. Maybe a little more than that because I have to like sort this upward and make sure it didn't break anything. But in theory, you know, if it wasn't this much of a mess, it would have taken less than 5 minutes. This is more the same. This background footage, I had to open up an entirely new, like, video project, video project for, what do you call it? Just to make this happen, because I needed the green screen, like, fire to go on top of this, and I could do that here, but it's just stupid and complicated because of like dumb factors with this specific editor, and it just would have taken longer. So it was just faster to open up a new project file and just do that elsewhere. And then I just made that into its own separate little video and made that happen. And then, you know, corresponding audio to go along with it. Bada bing, bada boom. There you go. And yeah, I just thought it'd be a funny thing because the way I mispronounce things. Encoding overload. Oh wow, okay. Apparently I have an encoding overload. I gotta look into that sometime. That was on OBS, by the way. You can't see it. I mean, I guess I could just like, wee, but no. No. Oh, OBS for you. I think that's all the things of note to say. I mean, there's this stretched out text. This is like a remnant of super early on of the editing. That's nice to have that still end up there. Personal sound effects I made, still used. More of the same. Close fade outs of characters here. Just, again, another thing to just have your eyes look at. There's Loopy De Loop, but as a trans woman. And yes, this isn't officially like trans woman, because in the show Jellystone, like a lot of classic Hanna-Barbera characters are women because they were men, but the creators and writers and everything thought it would be better for them to be women, and now they're just trans women, according to one of the people that worked on it, which is epic. Here's Beans, by the way. This is awesome. Unrelated gameplay footage. I mean, this is exactly as it says on the tin. I just needed something to be on here. I mean, it could have just been like the animated background, but that's boring. Like, you already see that throughout like the rest of the video, and there's like other parts of the video where it's just the animated background by itself before it leads into something else. So I figured I might as well just throw in gameplay footage. This was also a late stage edition in terms of actually adding the footage. But it pretty much, I just wanted to look at like this, just like at the text, and I just like reused the same positioning of the text. And there you go. I mean, yeah. Also, I love Kirby Return to Dreamland. It was my first Kirby game, and I've been playing the Switch version, and it's really good, and I want to get to the epilogue because that's like the whole reason I bought the game. It's cool to replay it, and also like its expanded minigame, like was it like Magaland or whatever the hell it's called? I don't know. I like Kirby. It's nice. It's a good franchise. But We're not here to talk about Kirby. We're here to talk about this. Oh yeah, this is another big one I want to talk about. I'm not going to show you a hands-on example because it's complicated, but I'll explain it. So do what I did before, or as I said earlier, about, you know, like me typing out the text and me like just like, you know, like cropping it to fit it and everything. But then make a copy, make the copy go underneath, and then like make it so it fits naturally. Because, you know, if it doesn't fit naturally, then it'll look like this, and it'll look a little janky. And it'll look really choppy on your end. It's really choppy. It didn't even show. Come on. What is going on here? Oh, that's another split. That's a split-second joke. But that's a general idea, and I just like make it fit, make it this and that, which I know sounds simple on the outside, but I also, because like this is like the second half of the segment, there's no way to make it easily snap into place, and I know it's a little janky, but you know, I can't stress about every single little tiny minuscule detail. You know, it just doesn't work like that. Also, I just realized I need to censor this bottom of the screen because there's like personal info down here. Why the fuck is like Google doxing me? Why would you do that? I gotta do that. God dang it. I hate I hate modern UI like this. Like, is there a way to turn this off? Please somebody tell me if there's a way to turn this off. I don't know, and I'm gonna forget. But like, if you comment, I'll see it. This is not engagement bait. I fucking hate that. Anyway, so that was complicated, but I did that multiple times because it looks aesthetically pleasing, and it was so worth it aesthetically wise. I don't know why. I just made it pop and then crop out. I made this a vacuum noise for the bad singing because I thought it would be funny. It was kind of playing off of the idea of animals hate the sound of vacuum cleaners. You know, I mean, I also hate the sound of vacuum cleaners too. And again, like, oh, Fox. Yeah, and there's more. Now I think I've basically covered all the interesting stuff. You know, this is just a funny audio key change for funsies. There's the white background to make your eyes bleed because I thought it'd be funny. No, it's because of aesthetic purposes. It just looks better that way. And then more of this, more text bubbles. Yeah, there you go. Go read Tinderkill. Oh, wait, did that bleed into the frame? I didn't mean to do that. Is that true? Oh, okay. I guess it does bleed into that frame. Well, not everything can be perfect. I mean, this is a pretty funny frame. If you're, for whatever reason, watching this, go to this frame in the video and like take a screenshot. Which means you probably will need to download the video so like the play bar isn't in the way. Unless you have like a external screenshot tool. Either way, this is an awesome screenshot. Awesome sauce even. You know it is. You already know it is. Yo Mama, I wasn't initially gonna put a regular show clip here. Also, I just straight up stole this from this person, and I just have this here, which I just think is hilarious. Like, this is great. So I just stole a clip that had like a small watermark from someone else's channel, and I was like, I'm not bothered to edit that out. I'm just gonna leave it in, just like as a remnant of me throwing this in last second, not last second, but just throwing it in willy-nilly. And then once I added this in for the first Yo Mama, I knew I had to keep iterating on the joke. So it's another one of my improv comedy during editing coming into play right there. Yeah, the Rigby background, epic. I'm trying to think. I mean, I really don't have. I'm running out of things to say here, honestly. There's more background. You can get a clear view for a sec there. Oh, fun fact. This is not even how it originally was supposed to look like. I changed the values of it so it speed up a little bit more. And I think also the color of it is different. Yeah, the opacity is different. It was just too dark, and I guess making it more transparent made it look better. So, you know, that's what happens sometimes. I have to like re-edit this just in case to make an isolated version, and also keep this here. but that's a fun fact. Here's the fish. You know, another one of those moments where I heard a thing and I knew I had to make it. This is pretty much exactly to my vision. My only gripe is that I kind of wish I made the fish bigger, but also it kind of makes sense proportionate to the human here and the doors. So I guess overall it worked out. You know, just a little funny joke. Donkey Kong. It's Donkey Kong. You know, you already know. You understand, I'm sure. My computer's killing itself. Encoding overload, actually. Apparently. I'm gonna have to look into that, which is like, wow. Oh, here's a little gag. So I didn't mean for this footage to look this bad. I guess OBS is messing up or something. I'm gonna have to actually like really look into that soon. But what happened is that like the footage just got really choppy. So I decided to run with the joke, and let's just skip to the snake eater footage because the rest of this is pretty self-explanatory. I mean, there's weed eater. It's going on this one on the bottom layer, and the rest of them went on the top layer. Fun fact. But for snake eater, I decided to deliberately put a JPEG damage filter on it, and I made it look like a aesthetically like a PS1 game. To play into the joke that the quality is going worse. It was not intentional, but hey, mistakes can make wonderful things, and you know that this kind of turned into a pseudo mini joke for people to enjoy. And you know, you got to work with what you got. You know, I didn't want to record new footage. That wasn't the 11th hour. Like that was the final edition. Besides editing sound effect volumes and other audio, like that was the final video thing I added to this video. And also, of course, copying and pasting the text and making it fit. I guess this technically maybe was the last thing since I don't know, but this general thing here, this snake eater footage was the last thing I added to the video. Funny enough, so there's a little trivia for you. There's the weed eater like thing, just being silly. I knew my friend Snook would have gotten a huge kick out of that, and I just thought it was funny anyway. So there we go. Lasagna, mac and cheese lasagna. Like this is real, by the way. My sister actually did make mac and cheese lasagna for Thanksgiving last year, and it was genuinely one of the best things I've ever tasted. I have a little bit of a problem with eating food. I have food related trauma, to be honest, and there's a lot of times where I don't like to eat food, and in general I try to eat healthy. Like I eat apples or bananas every day, and maybe some nuts and a good protein, and got wheat and dairy. So I don't like to pig out, and I eat as healthy as possible, fairly enough, because being healthy is fairly important to me, and also it having something else to focus on rather than the food itself when it comes to preparing it or like deciding. It also helps with my personal struggles. But the mac and cheese lasagna was just great. Like I mean I love mac and cheese, and like I mean it didn't look like this. It was more like it was like 98% mac and cheese and then like 2% lasagna, but it was still immaculate, and I adored it. And I love it so much that instead of having a birthday cake for my upcoming birthday this year, I'm gonna have a mac and cheese like lasagna, like a huge mac and cheese lasagna with candles on and everything. It's gonna be great. Like I told that to my sister, and I'm like, I'm not joking. You need to make this for my birthday instead of like instead of a cake. I don't like eating cake. I guess like the healthy food thing. So there's that. More funny pictures of foxes I edited. I just stretched this out for funny. Yeah, I just wanted a video of a yawning fox, and then I got it. Oh, okay. Gray strip. There's and then this, this is like an Earthbound inspired royalty free background I found. It just went with the vibe of this final part. I mean, this final part is like, like dopey, cheesy type of edgy. It's not even. It's not really that big of a deal. The main appeal for the video was like already past at this point. It's just the idea of me talking to my AI self and seeing what they would have said and what things they picked up on based off of my Twitter data. So like the ending wasn't really that big of a deal for me. Um, Endings for videos usually kind of determine how I want to make them if it's comedy focused. But in this case, I figured doing a gag like this, like after the fact, was fine enough. Was a fine enough way to end, and like just making it like hamming up like the vibes where it's like, oh, it's supposed to be scary, but it really isn't, and it's just like whatever. I just thought it kind of just fit into the tongue-in-cheek vibe of my existence, pretty much. And then like this was, well, why did it go all the way that way? And then this was just a fun little thing. Oh, my headphones just died. That's great. Thank you, headphones. Um, and I just thought it would be nice. By the way, these are like 3 different speeds of video. Like this is regular speed. Like this is regular speed. This is sped up, and this is even more sped up, just to go with it. And this is like, thank you for watching outro I made last year. Fun fact: I've remade this outro like 4 times, or I made this outro 4 times now. Like I've remade this 3 times because I just kept wanting to update it, and I want to do it again. I don't know how it would look like, but it's. I just want this general thing. I just feel like I'm missing something. Like this equals 3 is too far apart, and I feel like this is way too big. Like I'm a bit of a perfectionist, I guess, when it comes to details like that. Again, the details, they eat me, but for now it works, and I don't have time to make a new one, so whatever. I don't know why I named the outro Meow. I don't know what's wrong with me. But yeah, that's the video. Thank you for watching and taking a behind the scenes look at this. I do not plan to make another behind the scenes video for a long time because most of my editing is going to be probably a bit more scaled back than this. I still want it to be engaging and fun and energetic, and maybe it'll be on par, but maybe like a lesser energy than this going forward, I think, for like major editing projects for my main channel. But all in all, this is like gonna be the most effort I put into editing for a good while, I think. I could always change on a dime, but that's what I think for now. And I just thought it'd be cool to show it off, so I hope you enjoyed it. And if you're awake, wake up! I mean, if you're asleep, wake up. What am I saying? What am I saying? No. I'm gonna fix my encoding error because apparently OBS is shitting itself. Thank you again for watching, and yeah, I am out of here. So say goodbye to this very fine creature. Look at that. How could you say no to that face? They're gonna eat you.